student. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. My name is Courtney. I'm an occupational therapist that's going to be working with you today. And today we're going to do some visual testing. Does that sound like something you want to do?
Yes.
Okay, good. So first off, I want to start by looking at your acuity. So can you read the words on my shirt?
University of St. Augustine.
Okay, and then can you read what that movie case over there says?
Mean Girls.
Okay, good. So I see that you were squinting a little bit and you may have a little bit of trouble reading the words. And when you have trouble with acuity, it can make it difficult to read, recognize objects. It may cause you to need to squint or to blink a lot or to rub your eyes, to move things closer and farther away, or you could get a little bit dizzy. And so what I want to do is, first of all, refer you to an optometrist to look at your eyes. And then also at treatment, what we're going to do is we're going to practice reading various signs and identifying objects on the wall. So I'm going to put different pictures and words on the walls, and I'm going to name them, and I want you to identify them and practice focusing on them and seeing them clearly. So now I want to look at how your pupils react to light. So I want you to focus on me. I'm going to shine this light in your eye. Okay, so both of your, it looked like you have a little trouble with your pupils contracting. And this is important because if your pupils do not react to light the way they need to, it can cause you to have blurred vision, double vision, sensitivity to light, pain whenever there's light around you, or difficulty seeing contrast and detail. And so this can cause problems when you're going from dark places to light places, such as whenever at night when you go to the restroom and you turn on the light and it's really bright, or whenever you walk outside and it's bright. So what we're going to do is I'm going to suggest that you get a night light for your bathroom so that at night you don't have to turn on the bright light and you can be able to see more easily. And then also when you go outside, we're going to practice just going outside with sunglasses on and just trying to get used to being in those various environments. So now we're going to look and see if you have any double vision. So when you look at me, do you see one of me or two?
Two.
Okay, can you cover up one eye and then tell me one or two?
One.
Okay, so you're having some trouble with some double vision, and this can make different tasks difficult for you because they can look blurry or you can miss targets. So when you're reaching for something, you see two of them and you don't know which one to reach for. So I know that you are a server and it makes it hard for you to refill the salt and pepper shakers. And so what we're going to do next week is we're going to actually practice filling salt and pepper shakers so that you have to reach for the target and figure out where it is and just practice doing that with accuracy. So now I'm going to look at your field of vision. So I'm going to have you cover up one eye like this. I'm going to move a pin and I want you to tell me whenever you see it.
Now. 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 Now.
Okay, we're going to switch.
Now. 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 Now.
Okay, so it looks like you're having a little more trouble with your left eye than you are with your right eye. And so when it comes to your visual field, if you have a cut, then this is really important to know because it can make it to where you don't see the objects around you. It can make it to where you can't keep your head straight in midline. Whenever you're looking at things, you're having to move your head a lot more. And it may cause you to bump into objects and to not pay attention to things around you. So whenever you're walking through your house, you might bump into some furniture or even into another person. Or whenever you're at work, then it can make it difficult for you to navigate your environment. And so what I'm going to do is whenever we do treatment, I'm going to have you focus on a dot on the wall, and I'm going to have a table in front of you, and I'm going to have items scattered all over it. And what I'm going to do is have you find items all over the table, even where you're having difficulty. So we're going to practice using that part of your vision that you're having trouble with. Okay, so now with saccades, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold up two pins. And whenever I say the color of it, I want you to look at that pin, but I only want you to move your eyes, not your head. Okay? Blue, orange, blue, orange, blue. Okay? Good. So if you have a problem with saccades, you may have trouble reading, finding items when there are a lot of things scattered around them. I know that you have trouble locating silverware and different dishes and stuff at work. And so what we're going to do during treatment is I'm going to have a picture, and then I'm going to have a blank piece of paper, and I'm going to want you to copy that picture onto the blank piece of paper, and so you're going to have to practice shifting from one surface to another. Okay, now we're going to look at convergence. So I'm going to take this pen and I'm going to move it closer to your nose. And I want you to tell me whenever it starts looking blurry or like there's two of them, okay? Okay, so that was closer than a couple inches away from your nose, so it shows me that you have some problems with convergence. And this is important to know because it can cause you to have trouble reading, it can give you headaches, blurred vision, and eye drift, or cause you to have double vision. And so I know that you have trouble copying down orders and looking at anything that's really close to your face. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to do a baking activity with you where you have to fill up measuring cups and you have to read the numbers and focus on objects that are close to you. Okay, so now we're going to look at range of motion. So what I want you to do is I want you to focus on my pen with just your eyes. Don't move your head, okay? Okay, so I see that you're having some trouble following that with just your eyes. And this is significant because it can cause you to have some double vision, overshooting and undershooting objects, some headaches, some trouble focusing, difficulty with depth perception, which we already discussed before. And so I know that you have trouble when you're reaching for glasses or different objects. And so what we're going to do is we're going to practice unloading a dishwasher, and this is going to have you practice focusing on objects that are closer and farther away, different sizes, and just work on that range of motion. So now we're going to look at accommodation. So I have these two pins. One's going to be closer to you, one's going to be farther away, and when I say the color of it, I want you to focus on that pin with your eyes, okay? Orange, blue, orange, blue, orange, blue, orange, blue. Okay, so was that difficult for you? Did you have trouble focusing on them?
It was hard to focus on one of them.
Okay, so if you have trouble with accommodation, it may cause you to feel like you need to blink a lot, or you have trouble reading or focusing. You may have light sensitivity or blurred vision or dizziness. And so what we are going to do is I'm going to have you copy down orders from a board. So I'm going to have them written on the wall, and then you're going to look down at your paper and have to write them down and practice shifting from distances that are farther away to ones that are closer to you, and focusing on them until they look clear to you. So now we're going to look at pursuits. So I have this pin. I want you to focus on it with your eyes, okay? Okay, so I see that you had some trouble keeping your head still and just following it with your eyes. And so when you have trouble with pursuits, it'll make it difficult for you to follow objects with your eyes, difficulty reading. You may have some dizziness, some jerky eye movements, or some balance problems. So this is something we really want to address. So what we're going to do is I have this fun tennis game on a computer, and we're going to play that, and you're going to have to practice tracking the ball as it goes from one side to another. And so I feel like this will be really helpful for you. The last thing we're going to do is look at the next to the last thing we're going to do. We're going to look at spatial relations. So what I have is I have some crosses that are drawn on a piece of paper, and I want you to copy them down exactly the way they are onto this piece of paper. Okay, so I see that you had some trouble putting them in the correct positions. So this shows me that you have a little bit of trouble with spatial relations, and this can cause difficulty when it comes to getting dressed because you can have trouble buttoning the buttons, figuring out which part of the shirt is where your neck goes or where your arms go, and finding items around your house or while you're at work. So what I'm going to do when you come to treatment is I'm going to rearrange a bunch of items around the room, and you're going to locate them, but you're going to verbalize where they are in the room, but you can only use positional words. So things such as to the left, to the right, above, below, etc. Okay, lastly, we are going to look at mobility, so whether you can focus on items around you while you are moving around. And so I'm going to have you walk through the room and find items around you, okay? So do you see the lamp?
Yes.
Do you see the Captain America poster? Yes. Okay, good. So now we're going to sit back down and talk about this for a second. So if you have trouble with mobility and seeing things around you, then it can cause you to feel like you have to move more slowly, you have trouble seeing everything around you, you need to use touch to get around, or difficulty with changing surfaces such as carpet to tile to grass to concrete, different things like that. And so what we're going to do during treatment is I'm going to have you do a dressing activity, and you're going to have to gather all the items around the room before we begin. So you're going to have to practice walking around, picking up items, locating them while you're walking. Okay, so that's all we have today.
Thank you.
Thank you.